Yeah, you're right. It's that hurts, and that's not disrespectful to a really good Italian team. We knew they were going to be good. We'd watched their Six Nations games, 42-24 against South Africa. In South Africa is really competitive, so we knew it was going to be competitive this evening. We just felt probably when we scored those couple of tries and went 12-9 up, the accumulation of penalties was tough, and when you concede 13 penalties and a yellow card, it's just hard to have enough control in the game. And then when we when we fell behind, I felt that we overchased the game. We got very lateral in attack, and our kicking game probably wasn't as good as it needs to be. I think we put the ball out on the full 4 times, which just means that you don't get that territorial advantage and to get to pressure them. It means the pressure comes back on us. So between those penalties, those missed kicks for touch, and then probably overplaying in that last quarter and getting lateral. Obviously, the yellow card was a turning point. It was a lead up to them scoring the try that brought the two teams level and gave them the advantage of an extra man, which is tough when they're playing well and we're battling away.
What's the ill-disciplined tradition of your teams are very strong in that? The last couple of games has been a bit of a theme. Where do you think that's happened?
Yeah, we'll have a look at some of those penalties. And some of them we definitely have to sort out. The yellow card, Joseph has to go lower. He can't afford to tackle up around, even though the player is dropping. You can't take that risk. You've got to go low. So some of those penalties are definitely on us, and others we'll have a closer look at.
It's obviously great win, South Africa, performances in the Lions. Where does this team go from here, Joe? I mean, it's obviously, with full respect to Italy, a very, very disappointing result.
Yeah, any loss is disappointing, and we've accumulated a few now. So where do we go from here? I think we have to demonstrate some character and also some cohesion. I think when Carter was good today, I thought, but he's new in, and I felt like we lacked a bit of cohesion in the first half, and then in the second half we kind of overplayed because we fell behind. So we've got to build that cohesion, and we've got to demonstrate that real fight that we've demonstrated earlier in the season. I know it's still there, but I know, we've had 13 test matches. We've got 2 left. They're 2 incredibly important test matches against 2 big teams, both ranked, in that top 4 in the world. So we've got to go after those.
Do you regret not playing Len Ikitau, or do you think that wasn't really a factor tonight?
No, again, I thought Hunter Paisami played well. He was physical. He's a punchy player for us. He's got a good skill set. He got penalised once for a tackle being late that he'd committed to, so he'll be disappointed with that. But apart from that, I felt he played well. Lenny, he's fit and available next week, and he's had a week back with us, so He's a guy who adds leadership as much as anything. He's in our leadership team and has had a super season for us so far.
Joe, you've experienced some amazing highs, also some difficult defeats throughout your career. In these kind of moments, what exactly do you say to the team who are obviously very flat after that?
Yeah, I think after being involved in coaching over 130 odd tests, inevitably, and I've, as you say, there's been some great highs, and thankfully there's probably been more of those than there have been lows. But this low right now is tough. And what I would say to the players is one of the best things about the tour is that they do have a chance to turn things around next week. We're going to have to manage the fuel in the tank. I did think that that we just didn't look as sharp as we did earlier in the season, and we've got to get that sharpness, that energy back. And maybe that's, we've got about 7.5 hours travel to get to Dublin tomorrow. Maybe that's a really light start to the week. Try to get one good training during the week and then try to hit the ground running in the Aviva Stadium.
It's been a heavy schedule. Do you think, if you were looking to advise or in your handovers that the Wallabies have played too many tests because, there have been more than other nations? Yeah,
I guess one of the things about the big schedule is that it's given us an opportunity to give more opportunity to different players. We've got a short-term focus, and that's trying to win on Saturdays, and that was trying to win against Italy today, but we've also got a long-term plan that we've got to build a base so that we can have as strong a squad as possible in 2027. So it's, I'm not saying that the two are counterproductive, but they do at times make it tough when you're going week to week and you're travelling a lot and the schedule has been big. Obviously, 3 Lions tests are a massive occasion, once every 12 years, and then TRC that's a tough comp. So we've just got to pick ourselves up and go forward.
Harry, what's your reflections on obviously an incredibly disappointing night? A lot of Australians woke up this morning. Just your message as captain.
Yeah, it was obviously really disappointing tonight. We had a good game plan there, and we didn't go out and execute. Our ill discipline there really did hurt us, and yeah, it's very disappointing. But for us, we've got to connect up now. We've got to take our learnings from that and get excited for what is a big 2 weeks to finish off this year. It's been a big year, but we've got 2 really important test matches to finish, so I've got no doubt there's a lot of excitement in the group for the remaining 2 games.
How did you reflect on your own performance out there tonight, Harry?
I was probably a little bit disappointed, to be honest with you. A few penalties which I didn't want to do, and thought I could have been better on both sides of the ball, to be honest.
Joe, in Australian rugby, it can be a bit of a momentum. When it's high, it's high. When it's low, it can be quite low. What would be your message to the many people that come up with you, that've been on this journey with you since January, March last year, as you go into this last few tests in the year?
Yeah, I think I believe in the group we've got. I think there's still a lot of work to do to get them to where they need to be. I've, as I said, had lots of experience coaching a lot of test matches and had teams that have been number 1 in the world, and I know what it takes to get there, and I know the strength and depth that you need, and we're setting about trying to build that. I think it's no different for Italy. They have built through the Kieran Crowley era into Gonza's era, and Gonza's done a very good job. I think they are getting increasingly competitive, and they made it very tough for a lot of teams in the Six Nations as well. So I think for us, we'll reflect on what we put out there tonight, what we can build on, and what we need to make sure we improve upon. And all I can say to people is that we believe in what we can deliver. Don't lose faith, because we will guaranteed keep working as hard as we can to try to demonstrate what it means to us to try to be as competitive as possible.
Just one for Harry and one for Joe. Harry, what was your feeling in the field with the not a clear knock-on thing. You were the one with the ball when Carter Gordon scored the try. Did you feel it was, in your opinion, a knock-on or not?
Nah, he ripped it out of my hands. I thought it was a good call because my knees were on the ground and he still ripped it, and then it went backwards for them. Then Carter was great, got on the ball and scored. So I thought it was a correct decision because I wasn't trying to knock it on there. He ripped it pretty hard.
Did you think it changed a little bit the emotions on the field?
Sorry?
That scoring, did you feel changed something on the field?
I don't think so. I'm sort of confused with the question, to be honest.
Yeah, no, not sorry. Sorry for my English. It's just about, I think, Italy just switched on when there was that event.
Yeah, I think the crowd got involved and they played well with the crowd there, and I think that next 10-15 minutes they put a lot of pressure on us, and then they got the points there and put a lot of pressure on us going to that last 10-15 minutes.
Joe, in the first half you had quite a lot possession and territory, in my opinion. What's changed in the second half, because it seemed you didn't have so much as in the first half?
Yeah, I think whenever you have one less, so that we had a 10-minute period where we didn't have Joseph Akuso Sua'ali'i, and I felt at the start of the second half we actually started okay, but as I said, once we got the yellow card, I felt that we overplayed. We got very lateral. We started going away from how we like to play, and when we did put the ball in behind or make it contestable, we just weren't as efficient as we needed to be. So there are some things that we will work on. Certainly, you know, at 26-19, when Billy Pollard is held up over the line, that's how close it is. You know, that margin where he went so close to scoring, and we could have built to score. It was great defence from Italy and not good enough attack from us, albeit with a man down.
Joe, I was just wondering, have you any plans to bring in James O'Connor? Obviously, I know he's ready, or are you happy broadly with the squad that you've got as you go into two big test matches?
Yeah, I mean, James would probably add a bit of freshness. I haven't spoken to him about coming in. I've stayed in touch with him. He's had a good break over the last week or so. So he's been able to freshen up a little bit. Those are the things, those are the decisions probably tomorrow morning when we meet up before we head to the airport for a long old travel day, that we'll have a bit of a chat about, because what we'll be looking for first is just to get all the medical information first, so that we know who's fit to go and who we might need as cover.